In this video, you're going to learn a quick drill on how to keep your hips back in the swing. Let's do it. So you're either tired of slicing the golf ball because your hips open and your upper body follows, and so you swing left and slice the golf ball, or maybe your hips get too quick, so they're already open and everything else gets left behind, so you swing way out to the right and the ball hooks. So you're looking for a quick solution on how to keep your hips back to where everything gets in sync. So in this video, you're going to learn a quick drill on how to keep your hips back. Let's do it. But first, let's understand why these two scenarios can happen. So the first scenario, you feel that when your hips open, your upper body follows and you slice the golf ball. The root cause of this problem can be one of two things. So either you're standing too tall when you're setting up to the ball, and that's making you cut across the ball, or your hips are not setting in the backswing, and that is making you cut across the ball. So let's break that down. Or it's a combination of both. So if I could get you to drop the club and just hold your arms out to your side, your upper body can only fully turn if your lower body is fully turned. See, the upper body and the lower body turn together in the backswing, and now once the hips are fully set and they're turned as much as they can be, the upper body continues to follow and turn. So basically, if your hips don't fully turn, your upper body won't finish turning either. And so when your hips turn, your upper body is going to follow, and you're going to cut across and slice the ball because your upper body didn't turn more than your lower body. But you don't fully turn, because if you did, you'd feel like you wouldn't even hit the ground. So instead you kind of turn, you don't fully set your hips and you turn your shoulders down. And so you're just setting up for a slice, but you do that because that's the only way it feels like you can hit in front of the ball or hit the ground at all. The next scenario that can happen is you feel that your hips are too quick, which leaves your upper body back, and you feel like you're going to hook the golf ball. Your hips are not too quick, you're just not turning properly because you feel like if you do, you're either going to hit air or you're going to hit it fat. So you leave the upper body behind so you can at least have a chance to kind of come up and hit the ball. So the drill for you to start feeling everything being in sync is for you to get on one leg, so your front leg, and to start swinging the club around you. So you'll see if you get on your tiptoe of your back foot, you'll notice your hips get a full turn. So that's going to let you get a full turn with your upper body. And so now everything is going to be in sync to where you can swing down the target line. So this drill is really going to help you to start feeling in sync with your golf swing. So the upper body's not getting left behind, or it's not coming straight with it across the target line. So your hips are getting a full turn because all of your weight's forward, and you just need to do the correct thing to even be in balance. So you're going to get a full turn here with the hips, and now the upper body is going to continue turning, and now the lower body is going to go, bringing you into a position to hit the ball, and now you swing down the target line. And so what it's going to feel like is you're turning around your body, and your upper body's going, and your hips are staying back. It's going to feel like your upper body's going and your hips stay back, and you can have this nice golf swing swinging around you, and you can hit in front of the ball, swing around you, so you don't feel like you're going to hit it fat. And so everything can be in sync and your hips stay back and everything turns together as it should. Because if I hold my arms out to my side and turn fully, you can see that if I turn back and through like this, the sequence of motion is your hips turn, which turns your upper body, then the upper body goes, and now the upper body is turning more than the lower body, and then they catch up to each other, and then they turn through in the downswing together, and then the upper body goes. So that's the sequence of motion. So if you have a correct top of the backswing position, it feels like your hips are just staying back as you're turning through the shot. And that's the exact feeling on why you're watching this video, is you want to keep your hips back. And so to do that, we need to fully set our hips in the backswing. And that's going to allow us to fully turn in the backswing. And now this first move, our hips are staying back, and then we can turn through the ball. And so that's on one leg, but how can we implement this in the golf swing? Well, if you can see, this is on one leg, but watch what's going to happen as I go to another leg. See, I move this way because your weight is going to be centered to be able to get this full turn. Your weight is going to be centered over the middle of both your feet. But let's backtrack and try to solve a couple other issues that I brought up in this video. So I said, when you're slicing the ball and your hips can't stay back, it's because you're standing too tall. So you need to start with more hip hinge, because if my legs are too tall, I can't turn them enough. See, if I completely lock them out, to completely lock my legs out, I can only turn this much. But if I have them to their natural hip hinge, if you just go like this, I can turn them good now. They can turn 45 degrees. And through the ball too. Look at this, back and forth. But if I start like this, I can't turn them. So because you're not fully turning your lower body, I'm gonna lock out my legs, your upper body can't fully turn. So if you're standing too tall and you don't have enough hip hinge, your upper body can't turn. So instead of turning around you, what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, okay, I'm not only gonna turn to here in the golf swing, like this is enough. So your upper body is really gonna start, instead of turning around you, you're gonna start turning it down to get some turn in the swing. And so you're just set up for a massive slice at this point, and that's not gonna be a good result. So the solution to that is you need to start with enough hip hinge to where you can fully turn your hips, and so you can fully turn your upper body. And this will lead to the natural flow of events in your golf swing, to where your hips are gonna stay back, and everything is going to be in sync right down the target line with a nice shallow golf swing where you are swinging around you. The other problem that I mentioned is that you're not turning properly. If you feel like your hips are getting quick, what's happening there is you're turning your shoulders flat, right? So maybe you set up with enough hip hinge, but if you feel like you're just hooking the ball and your hips are getting quick and everything is getting stuck in your swing, you're most likely turning your shoulders flat. But look at where my head's set up here. It's down a little bit. So if I turn my shoulders, look what happens as I turn my head down. There's a swing plane here, right? So we need to turn along the swing plane for everything to turn together in the swing in unison. So if we turn our shoulders flat, our hips are gonna go, but our upper body's gonna stay back. And you can see this with a hula hoop. If our hips go and then we turn our shoulders flat, our upper body's gonna stay back. But for everything to be in unison with this hula hoop, we need to turn our shoulders down around our spine and then back to the ball in here. So we're maintaining this swing plane here. And so now when you turn your hips, it's gonna feel like your hips are staying back and then your upper body catches up, and now everything turns through the ball in sync and your hips aren't getting quick in the downswing. If you found some helpful tips in this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, as that would really help me out. Feel free to send me a video of your golf swing. I have a video linked in the description on how to do that. I teach the single plane swing as it is the easiest method you can possibly do to hit a golf ball, and it is the exact method that I teach, and I teach over at ManningGolf.com. I have a full step-by-step guide to learning the single plane swing, and y'all learn part of the fundamentals to that swing in this video. I've grown up developing my swing, watching all these other YouTube golfers with all the best methods to learn to hit a golf ball, and I teach the best method, the single plane swing. There are a couple other people that teach the single plane swing, but no one teaches exactly what I teach. But again, I hope you found some helpful tips in this video to feel like you're keeping your hips back to where everything is in sync in your golf swing, and I hope the rest of your day goes well.